Hello, I'm Mark Francois, the Member of Parliament for Rayleigh and Wickford.
I'm Roger Hirst, Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner for Essex.
I'm Ian Foster, candidate for Roche North and Rural Ward.
I'm Laureen Shaw, candidate for Essex County Council, Rochford North.
I'm Lesley Butcher. I'm the candidate for Hawkwell East.
The ward that I'm standing for is very rural. It's all in the name. Lots of very narrow country roads.
Yes.
Every resident I talk to complains about speeding there. Any ideas on what we can do about it?
It's such an important issue, Ian. And in my manifesto, which is on the website, we've got quite a big section about road safety. The speeding is one of the big road crimes. The four that really kill and hurt people are speeding, drug driving, drink driving, and using your mobile phone at the wheel. And those four crimes kill more people in this county than all other crimes put together. All the drug crime and the domestic violence pales by comparison with speeding. So we have to do something about it. There's a lot that can be done. So you will have a local highways panel, and you can always apply to them for a speed survey to work out how bad the problem is and what sort of speed reduction measures can be put in. From the police point of view, we really like Community Speed Watch. So that's great local volunteers getting together with the kit to go out and record where people are speeding, and those people will get a letter educating them about what they're doing wrong. If it is a place where you get persistent speeding, the police will then pick up on that and put in place their own speed controls, and they can issue tickets, so people can learn the hard way that it's not good to speed there. But those are really useful measures that can be done to reduce speeding across the piece. I think the most important thing really are the National Driver Remediation Scheme as courses that we do. We do about 80,000 of those a year, and that really does get through to drivers about the evil that speeding is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Roger, I know you've put a lot of time and effort in getting more police into the area. Good news.
Yep.
But we've got a lot of issues with women feeling unsafe walking around in the daytime.
Mm.
Can we get more police around in the daytime so it's more visual? Because I'm having residents saying they're not safe in the daytime. It's perception it's night, but it is in the daytime as well.
No, I think it's again, it's a very real concern. So, as you know, we have recruited 500 more cops in the last few years, and they've been predominantly into local and visible policing. If I'm re-elected on May the 6th, it'll be 300 more after that. We've lined up the funding to make sure that happens, and that will mean, again, more police out on patrol. I think you're right, they have to be out on patrol. They also have to work on the basis of local intelligence, so they need to be engaging with the public to know what's going wrong. If we put in place these local district disruption teams, they'll be focusing through intelligence gained from the public with the Community Safety Partnership on intervening in particular hotspots around known offenders and to protect known victims. And that's really where what you're saying about violence against women comes in. It is absolutely the case that violence against women and girls is a problem. I think it's really incumbent on me as a male community leader to say I absolutely condemn it. You know, we are here and we need to stand up for women and make sure that they do feel safe. The government has actually put in place some really good stuff, another £25 million for safer streets, so we can do things around CCTV, about improving street lighting where it's poor, and we can also do stuff, as you said, around the nighttime economy of all bar none rather, and the stuff around Ask for Angela, so women can feel safe in the nighttime economy. But it's how do we actually get them to feel safe in the daytime on the street?
Yeah, I'm very concerned about the drug problem in our county, because it's not just the problem of people taking drugs, it's the crime it leads to, it's the other problem that comes along with that. I was on the drug squad in Essex many, many years ago, and I realised that by having workers, police officers that actually work towards ending drug use and catching the criminals, that other crimes are also cleared up. So
it leads to so much, doesn't it?
It does lead to so much, and so much sorrow as well with those that get involved in it. I wondered if you had any plans towards that.
Yeah, well, it is an issue that we're doing actually quite a lot around right now, and since we brought in, again, with government help, must say thank you, Mark. So we've had the government invest in the National Crime Agency. It's sort of a three-pronged attack. The first prong is national, with what the Prime Minister's called chopping the head off the snake, dealing with the very serious criminals who make money out of this thing. The second thing is, again with the help of government money, surge funding for police activity on the street here in Essex. So we've actually increased stop and search in Essex by 5-fold. We're doing 5 times the amount we used to be doing, and that of course is taking drugs and weapons off the street. And then the third bit, again with the help of government funding, is the bit that I'm most responsible for, which is the Violence and Vulnerability Unit. So we've got a unit aimed at reducing violence, and that is principally trying to work out ways to keep young people safe and out of the hands, out of the claws of these awful gangs that prey on them. So what they do is they tend to try and pervert young people, get them to run the drugs for them, run the money for them, and we're putting in place good programs. So they've got other things to do, good youth groups, fire breaks, working with the Fire and Rescue Service, police and fire cadets, but also, if they have gone wrong, helping them understand there is a way back. The gangs will tell them, you're a criminal now, you're one of us, there's no way out. That's just not true. There's so much we can do to help them. And help them make the right life choices to get back onto a path which will be much more successful. Because we all need to bear in mind, these drug criminals are actually rather unsuccessful.
Roger, one of the things I know you've been very keen on as our Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner has been growing the Special Constabulary.
Yes.
And I think the last time I looked at the stats, we've now got the second largest Special Constabulary in the country, in Essex.
We have indeed.
Which is a fantastic thing.
After the Met.
People coming forward to volunteer to help protect the community in which they live. Can you just say a bit more about that programme? Why have we done so well compared to others? And what plans have you got for us to do even better?
Well, I think it's really been a real effort to make it work and make sure that it's properly integrated with the regular constabulary. So one of the first things that the Chief Constable did, the then Chief Constable did after I came on, and we made this commitment to the specials, was to put in place a regular superintendent to direct the specials and make sure they were doing stuff that they could see was useful, and that the regulars could see was useful, and they were working together to reduce crime across the piece. We then also worked very hard to get local councils, parish councils, town councils behind the programme of community specials, finding volunteers and sponsoring them to come forward. And that's so important in terms of the glue that binds the community and the police together, and means that flow of intelligence that we talked about is really there. So it's got a bit of enthusiasm behind it. We've hired a couple of hundred extra, but I'd love to see a couple of hundred more.
So the Met are the biggest police force in the country.
They are.
So you're going to have to go some in order to.
We're not going to get more than them. That would be too big an ask.
But of all the other counties in England, we've got the most specials.
We have the most. Yes.
Well, that's tremendous,
isn't it?
Thank you.
Thank you.